everybody, and welcome to something a little more different.
Ish.
I'm Song.
I'm Bumulu.
I'm Emma.
I'm Camila.
Welcome to our very first podcast episode. Woo! Today we'll be doing a scary story showdown, so we'll decide who goes first then. Should we do it birthday order?
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's
That's
fine.
So go first.
Okay. Wait, I go first.
Yes, birthday order.
Yeah, you go first. You're January.
January.
Okay, maybe not birthday order.
Do we go backwards then? We'll go backwards.
Oh my
gosh.
Yeah.
You can start.
Okay, I'll start
What's
then.
the point? Okay.
Okay, so this story, right? I'm not sure. Like when I first read it, I thought it was a little bit not scary. I'm not sure if it's gonna be scary for anyone else, but this is the best story I could find, so I'll start. So the title is Distorted Warning Signals, and credits to Ashley Rose Wellman, the person who wrote this scary story. So it starts. When I got the first one, I was literally seconds away from stepping onto the plane when a call from unknown blared from my cell phone. It was a ringtone I hadn't heard before, one I was pretty sure hadn't come with a phone. Normally, I wouldn't have stopped to answer it, but I was expecting a call about a job I had interviewed for the previous week. I took a deep breath in and accepted the call. Hello. Do not get on the plane. A woman's voice, garbled and strange, as if her vocal cords had been shredded and she was trying desperately to choke out speech. Despite the unnerving, fractured quality of her voice, her tone was insistent and eerily calm. Then the call ended. I froze. I had always had a slight phobia of air travel, and something about this call there's no way I was about to get on a 7-hour flight now. I turned around and headed toward the food court. I just get another flight later in the afternoon, I figured. I watched from the airport Starbucks 3 hours later as every TV in the terminal lit up with the crash footage of the plane I should have been on. No survivors, not a single one. I tried to trace the call, so did the police, but there was nothing to trace. There was no evidence my phone had ever received a call around that time. They analyzed phone records, incoming and outgoing communication to my phone. Nothing. I wasn't making it up. I couldn't have been. That wasn't the only call. Throughout the years, they were few and far between, but always right, and I always listened. Do not go on that blind date tonight. 5 months later, my would-be date was convicted of killing 4 women, all with my hair color and build. Found them in a shallow grave about 250 feet from the diner he offered to take me to. Do not drive to the concert tonight. 18-wheeler lost control and plowed into a line of cars. Every driver crushed, every driver killed, in the stretch of a freeway I would have been driving down. No matter if I got a new phone, if I moved across the country, the calls would still come. I would almost feel the presence of whatever it was, whatever it is, watching over me. I imagine being at the bottom of the freezing ocean, still strapped into my coach section plane seat, or being in that mass grave across from the diner, or watching an 18-wheeler skidding toward my car, knowing death was imminent, and I get this tightness in my chest. I think about how thin that line was, how close I'd gotten. If I hadn't had a job interview I was waiting to hear back from, I had never listened to that first call, and that would be it for me. It always felt like something was coming for me, but there was always this fractured, warped voice with these calls that never seemed to exist after I heard them. Self-destructing warning signals rotting away before my eyes, and I was alive. I had a bad feeling about this cruise. I had planned it as a girls' week out with some of my old friends from college and was looking forward to a week in the tropics in the dead of winter, but part of me could almost sense the call was coming. Maybe I watched Titanic one too many times, but there was a little nagging fear from the start. I hoped it would be fine, but I knew that if something was going to happen, I'd get the call. I know. Now, a week before I'm set to go on the cruise, after stepping into my apartment after returning from dinner with a friend, I notice my cell has a message from unknown. They never had to leave a message before. Haven't checked it all night. Damn it, and I had really wanted to go on that cruise too. Oh well, not worth whatever horrific fate awaited me in that cold, dark ocean. I click play message and feel my stomach drop as I listen to the voice sounding horrifically distorted as if it emanates from a throat slashed to ribbons, crackling with more urgency than ever before. I look around my apartment as the voice on the phone repeats the same phrase over and over again. Do not come home after dinner tonight. Do not come home after dinner tonight. Do not come home after dinner tonight. The end.
Oh my
Ew.
gosh.
Ew, ew, ew.
That is so
ew.
horrifying.
I know, right?
I did not
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh.
Yeah.
See,
Ew.
Wait, but why doesn't so? Why is it do not come and not do not go?
Um.
I
Does it?
don't
What's the
know.
voice?
It
I mean,
just...
why are you questioning that and not the fact that there's a woman with like no throat talking on the phone? Maybe she just doesn't have the best grammar.
It was like, ew.
Oh my gosh.
I
The
don't
thing
know.
is,
Wow.
That is horrifying.
like, this the other person like left a comment, right? And this person said, it says, what happened next is she got killed by a slit through her neck, and her dead ghost or form become the unknown color to her living past, so she saved herself many times, but when it's her fate to die, then she will keep dying again, so it's a loop of her death.
Oh, it's like that one
That's
movie. What's the
What?
movie? Do you
Yeah,
know what
Happy
I'm
Death
talking
Day.
about?
Oh, that's
Day.
cool.
Uh-huh.
Happy Death Day, and
What?
there's another one. What was the one in the tall grass? Have y'all ever watched
Oh, oh my gosh!
it?
But
You
like
should
that's
watch it. It's like
No, I don't watch
it's like
scary
basically-
movies.
I
It's
like
really good,
hearing
though.
scary stories, but like, no, the reason I got scared in the middle of it, like next to, I was following through with the website, and next to it is the Momo challenge thing.
Yes.
Oh my
I
gosh.
also got the yeah.
horrifying.
When I opened
No.
it, I almost yelped because I saw her face, and then I was like, oh wait, no.
yeah, it's
Very
No,
nice storybook
and, like,
movie.
you know when it said that the police also tried to trace the call, imagine if they didn't believe her.
oh yeah.
Like,
I know.
like she escaped from dying. Like she could be the terrorist. Anyways,
Yeah.
God, I hope
Who's
this is
next?
bad.
Next,
Me.
yes, next is
Okay.
you.
Okay. I have two really short ones. Like they're tiny. Okay. The
Okay.
first one
okay.
is called "The Puppy in the Basement." So it's a short ghost story. I
Oh
found
God,
it on
why
Reddit.
is there a puppy in the basement?
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay,
Oh,
okay. Mommy told me never to go in the basement, but I wanted to see what was making that noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy, and I wanted to see the puppy. So I opened the basement door and tiptoed down a bit. I didn't see a puppy, and then Mommy yanked me out of the basement and yelled at me. Mommy had never yelled at me before, and it made me sad and I cried. Then, Mommy told me never to go in the basement again, and she gave me a cookie. That made me feel better, so I didn't ask her why the boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy or why he had no hands or feet.
What the hell?
I know.
oh my gosh.
Reddit, it was
Ew.
really short, but just like,
Oh
Ew.
my
It's
God.
the second time I heard this one, but it's still traumatizing.
it's like chilling.
That is
Oh.
Wait, read
Hell
that again.
nah.
Mommy told me never to go in the basement, but I wanted to see what was making that noise. It kind of sounded like a puppy. He wanted to see the puppy, so he went down the basement, and his mom yelled at him. Mommy had never yelled at him before, and it made him sad and cried. Then Mommy told him never to go in the basement again, and she gave her a cookie. That made him feel better, so he didn't ask why the boy in the basement was making noises like a puppy or why he had no hands or feet.
Ugh.
Gross. Disgusting.
Ew.
I have another one that's kind of like that, so it's also really tiny. But basically, okay. A girl is alone at home one night for the first time. She has a dog to keep her company. The girl listens on the news about a serial killer on the loose. She goes to sleep after locking all the doors and windows but for one, which she doesn't close. Suddenly, she's awakened by a dripping sound. Scared thoroughly, she tries to go back to sleep and puts her hand down the bed for a reassuring lick from her dog. As the dripping sounds continue, she continues to check on the taps in the kitchen, bathroom, and everywhere else, but finds nothing. She returns to her bedroom and puts the hand down again for the dog to lick. The dripping sound continues, and the girl is too frightened to fall asleep. But as her hand gets licked from under the bed, she slowly falls asleep. In the morning, when she opens the closet, she finds her dog killed and hanged upside down. The dripping sound was from the dog's blood. On the closet doors, she sees a message. Humans can lick too.
That's
No. Hell
disgusting.
no. What
Blech.
is that? That is disgusting.
I read it and
Gross.
I was like, what?
Unnecessary.
Ew.
The crazy thing
Oh,
is that like this
my
girl
God.
lives alone. Like, she's like,
I know. And then she thought it was the dog the entire time. It was the freaking.
No.
That is disgusting.
No, like, oh, but I would be kind of glad that like I just thought it was my dog, because like imagine if she pet the person and then she realized it's not her dog.
Oh my
Ew,
god.
she feels like a
Imagine,
greasy nose or something.
what?
But just.
She feels like a greasy nose, like or
Ew.
someone's eyes or something.
But imagine how chilling. Like you wake up and you realize the entire time it wasn't your dog. It was a freaking.
What
know,
a
at
nice
least he didn't
serial
kill
killer
her.
to leaving a note on the bloody closet.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
Yeah, good
Really
job,
nice.
idiot.
Stupid.
And there's so much DNA in her hand now that like he's screwed, honestly.
It's. I mean. That's
she just
true.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, now it's my turn.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, come.
Okay, so this one has no author. It's apparently really popular, but I'll tell it anyways because it's creepy and I don't like it. It's called The Portraits.
Oh
There
my
was a
gosh,
hunter in
wait.
the... Have you heard it?
Uh-huh.
Oh
I
my
think
god,
so.
okay.
I don't know.
There was a hunter in the woods who, after a long day hunting, was in the middle of an immense forest. It was getting dark, and having lost his bearings, he decided to head in one direction until he was clear of the increasingly oppressive foliage. After what seemed like hours, he came across a cabin in a small clearing. Realizing how dark it had grown, he decided to see if he could stay there for the night. He approached and found the door ajar. Nobody was inside. The hunter flopped down on the single bed, deciding to explain himself to the owner in the morning. As he looked around, he was surprised to see the walls adorned by many portraits, all painted in incredible detail. Without exception, they appeared to be staring down at him, their features twisted into looks of hatred. Staring back, he grew increasingly uncomfortable, making a concerted effort to ignore the many hateful faces. He turned to face the wall, and exhausted, he fell into a restless sleep.
Oh my gosh.
Face down in an unfamiliar bed, he turned blinking in unexpected sunlight. Looking up, he discovered that the cabin had no portraits, only windows.
What?
Right!
Oh my
gosh.
Heck no.
That is so
Ew.
gross, dude.
Ew, no.
Ew.
Oh my
Like,
God.
imagine...
God. Kimchi.
Yeah. Horrifying.
Oh.
It's
I
like
don't like
Harry
that.
Potter style disgusting. You know, like all the portraits are alive, but they also want to kill you. But there was a comment that was really funny. Wait, where is it? Let me find it. It was it's so fucking funny. I can't even say it. Okay. So wait, he didn't notice everyone outside standing on top of each other like circus midgets to push their faces against the glass in disdain. How do you not notice a bunch of people around the house standing on top of each other?
My God.
That is hilarious.
That's true.
That's nasty
Okay.
though.
Oh,
Ew, 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 ew.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Uh,
No.
is it
Well-
my turn now?
Yes.
Yes, it's your turn.
Okay, I have two stories. One is more like imagine, imagine the situation type of like story.
Mm-hmm.
But one is like one that is really famous in Korea. So I'll tell that one first. So I kind of like it might be different from the original one, but so this was kind of in the 1990s in a military camp. So one day a new what do you call a military person? Like a new
Soldier.
soldier came in, right? And in Korea, military service is mandatory. So like, yeah. But this new guy came in and he could see ghosts. He said he could see ghosts. And everybody didn't believe him because like imagine someone coming up to you and telling you that they could see ghosts.
Yeah,
You
you think
wouldn't
they're
believe them.
Yeah.
crazy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So they didn't believe him and they kind of bullied him because of that. But there was this other guy that he felt bad for him, and so he used to take care of him, right? And so he used to hang out with him. He got to know him better, and so he asked him, like, so can you really see ghosts? And the new guy kind of was hesitant because, like, what if he got bullied like before? But because he was so nice to him, he decided to open up and he told him, I know it's not that believable, but I can see ghosts, right? A couple of weeks passed. And one day the old guy, let's say James because it's hard to differentiate. The new guy is Jay and the other guy is James. Okay. Wait, never mind. I can't remember that. Anyway, so the new guy disappeared. The new guy disappeared, and so James, right? James was looking for him, and he didn't tell anyone else because he would get like the new guy would get in trouble, and nobody liked him in the first place. So he was looking for him, and he found him in like far away, like behind a building, crouching down. And he was crying, and he was like, what the hell are you doing here, like crying? Everyone, like, I was looking for you. And the new guy, like, he was shaking, and he was like crying like really really hard,
Yeah.
let's say. And he was like, what's wrong? And then the new guy tells him, I had a dream yesterday, but like, you know, sleep paralysis, like you can't move.
Oh yeah, like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah. But instead of that, he had like when your soul detaches from your body, like you
Oh,
feel
ew,
like you're looking at yourself from above, let's say. But that happens when you have sleep paralysis too. Like you just see yourself. And then, but when he had that, he heard a child outside crying. And so he followed the sound. And he followed it, and when he got to where the sound was coming from, there was a small boy, and he was crying too. Like he was sitting on a stone, um, on stone stairs, and he was just crying and crouching like he was right now.
Yeah.
And so the new guy asks the child, like, "What are you doing here?" And then the boy, like, he was like, and then as soon as he asked that, he stopped crying. And then the new guy asks him again, like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing here? And why are you crying?" And he was about to, like, touch his hair, like, trying to console him. But as soon as he was about to touch him, the boy turns his head to him, towards him,
Yeah.
and starts staring at him, like intense eye contact. And then he
My
asks,
biggest fear.
like, and then he asks, little boy asks, "Where are you sleeping right now?"
What?
What?
And then, he just asks, "Where are you sleeping right now?" And then the new guy, like, he's like, "What the hell?" But then, like, without thinking, he just points to the military camp and his room. And then he says, "Oh, I'm sleeping there," without thinking. And then as soon as he finishes saying that, the boy stands up and starts, like, laughing and running towards where he's pointing at.
No. No. Ew.
Wait.
And then,
Uh-huh.
and as soon as he's about to get to where the guy was sleeping at, the guy woke up, right? And I don't know. And then James is like, "What the heck? Like, are you crying because of a dream, right?" And instead of, like, consoling him, he was just, like, mad because, like, he literally spent, like,
Yeah.
he wasted his time.
Yeah.
And then, so James just left him and he just went back. But then the next day, the new guy started laughing like a child.
No.
And then he just jumped off the window and he died.
What the hell?
What the heck?
Ew.
Wait.
No.
And that's how it ends.
Yeah.
Wait.
I hate
Can we? What? Did the kid
like possessed him or something?
That's what I'm like. Did he go and like? Exactly.
It's kind of like there are a lot of similar stories to this, but it's like basically when, let's say, like, the new guy's soul, like, in quotations, left his body, and then that child too, that had happened to him. He had left his body, and then someone went and replaced
to console him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is absolutely disgusting.
Ew.
So he
Oh my
ran
gosh. I
to
hate
the body.
like
Ugh.
I hate the part about like the sleep paralysis where like I feel like I'm gonna dream about that tonight, man. Cause like
When the
a
kid started
child,
laughing.
and then
Oh
like
my
I
gosh.
point, and then he's gonna run. I can already see it.
That gives
Disgusting.
me like goosebumps in a bad
I
way.
know.
Yeah.
I saw this in a webtoon at first. Oh my gosh, if you see it in drawing, it's so much creepier. Like,
I can already
I imagine.
it.
I am so
That's
gonna
ugly.
dream about that tonight. Jesus Christ.
no, don't say that. And this is the last story. And so, okay. So just imagine this.
Okay.
Let's say you're a businessman and you're just in the room. This is in a Korean household. So in an apartment, usually it's not that big. So from your bedroom, you can see the living room and the kitchen, like if it's really small. So you're sleeping and you can hear your wife, like she's making breakfast, of course, the wife.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Mhm.
so she's making breakfast and you can hear chopping. I don't know what she's chopping, but like you can hear her chopping.
Yeah.
But then suddenly you hear like a wheezing sound.
Huh?
You're in your room like imagining like what that could be. Like, is the gas leaking? What is happening?
Yeah.
You ask your wife like what, like, Julie, I don't know, like, Julie, what's happening? And then the sound just gets louder. It's like it went from wee to wee, and then you're just like, what the heck? And then like you run to the kitchen, and then as you go, the wheezing gets louder and louder. You're calling out for your wife, but she's not responding. So you just pull her like from the shoulder so she faces you, right? And then you look at your wife, and her mouth, it looks like it had been melted. And so there's like it's
Ew.
melted, and there's holes,
Ew.
Ew.
like
What the hell?
5-10 holes instead of one big mouth. And then she's staring at you, and her eyes are like red, and she's making the wheezing sound. She's like wee, trying to speak.
Ew.
What?
Ew, trying to
no.
speak. Ew. Okay, you did not have to add that last part. That is disgusting.
I know.
That is so horrible.
No.
I know, right?
You know.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. No.
Who comes up with these? What kind of
I know,
sociopath?
seriously, who thinks of them? Like, who just
Yeah.
sits and writes or
Yeah.
think? Oh, ew.
At
That is
least I'm
disgusting.
just happy that she wasn't bleeding from her eyes, because of no.
Oh no, man. Eyes are so much worse than mouths in these situations.
Ew. Like, I was
Wow.
Like, they're so
thinking,
much
like,
more
well,
touchy.
imagine someone who has like trypophobia. Like they look at like those.
Oh
That's
my
literally what I was
God.
imagining
God.
when
Yeah.
she was describing the mouth. Like, she was like, all these holes. I was like, no.
Uh.
Like, ew. Like, that's, even
No.
though, o sea,
Talking about trypophobia, I don't know. Like, I don't know what that is. So there's this similar story that just reminded me. There's this Korean story about the Sesame girl or something like that. Do you know sesame seeds?
I already hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is disgusting. They're so tiny and gross.
It's really short, so I'll just say it.
Okay.
So there's this girl, and she's really into beauty and stuff like that. So she hears that sesame, like, I don't know, the oil it releases, is really good for the skin.
Yeah.
And so she brings home like packets of sesame seeds, and she bathes in them. And hours and hours passed, but she wouldn't get out of the bathroom. So her mom like opens the door, and she sees her, and all the sesame seeds were stuck in her in the holes in her body and in her pores.
Would she look like a
In her
strawberry?
pores.
Strawberry.
Yeah.
A human
Literally,
strawberry.
oh my gosh.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh. What a great
I-
imagination.
That's nasty.
I did not need that image right now.
That's disgusting.
Oh
Girl.
my gosh.
I know. More
That's
than
very
scary,
nasty.
I feel like some stories like
They just like give
Yeah,
you like the
they-
ick.
Yeah, it's just cringe. Like, it's just like you
Like to think about, it's like,
Uh-huh.
you want to like gag.
Exactly.
Mm.
I don't know how many times you
Ew.
said ew in those like
Now that you-
30 minutes. I
I
feel
know,
like
ew,
every
ew,
time
ew,
the
ew.
story ended, it's like ew, no, ew.
First reaction. That, I know. It's just ew.
It's
the only
just
way you
ew.
can describe it.
It just it summarizes
okay,
every
just
the
ew,
single
seeds are
story.
like in
exactly.
her pores.
Yeah.
The seeds are like in her
No.
pores,
Like-
entonces.
Ugh.
They got stuck. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh God,
But
no.
imagine taking them out Ew,
with like a tweezer.
No,
just
she just leaves them
picking
in
each.
there.
ew.
And like instead of hair, she starts growing out like sesame plants.
Ew.
You know what I imagined? I imagined those plants. What are they called? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You know the. Oh my god, I can't think of the name. They're the plants where they grow
don't-
like it's like a face and it like grows hair, but it's grass. I forgot the name.
What? What type of
I don't know.
It grows up. It grows
Chia,
up face.
chia plants, chia pets. Chia pets. Look up chia
Chia
pets. Look up a chia pet.
pets.
Yes, a chia pet.
Don't tell me those are where.
There's.
Don't tell me that's where chia seed. Those.
It's like
Oh, uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant like actual hair,
no.
like hair, like.
That's what I
Wait,
imagined
what?
when she
I'm
said
so
about
confused.
the hair
Oh.
growing. Chia pets.
Oh,
Ugh.
ew.
That's what I imagined.
That is disgusting.
That's funny. But yeah.
Or she can have like a monopoly over
No.
sesame seeds, and she can like sell
Literally
them to
just cut
like
your
Yeah.
hair.
McDonald's and stuff.
For real.
That's true.
Wow.
I'm not gonna see strawberries in the same way. Just
Me neither.
I know I'm gonna be looking at strawberries and think of the girl.
yeah.
Ew.
Ugh.
Indeed.
No, have you ever seen a strawberry like with the seeds but grown a little bit? It is disgusting.
Grown.
It is the most like that's how I imagine the girl. Like
Okay.
look up or
What do you
I don't know,
mean?
just imagine like the seeds of a strawberry, but they all have like little tufts of grass or something
Oy.
coming out. It is disgusting
Oh,
and like
ew. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's gross.
Nasty.
Like you
It is nasty
suddenly
as hell.
imagine like her growing sesame seeds, like you know.
Ew.
Ew.
Yunji. Hey, boomaloo.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's
wow.
disgusting.
Well,
That was
I
very.
think that's it then, right?
I guess so. Thank you guys for tuning in, and always remember to think different ish.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Right?
See you next week with our next episode.